Good morning. Yes, I'm up early today. Drinking some coffee. It's delicious. Mmm, so good. I'm glad it stopped raining enough for me to get out here and read the Bible some. I'm going to set this down for just a minute so I can put my coffee over here and then I'll read something. Am I swinging on the swing? We still don't have a cover for it because I ordered one and it never came for some reason. I have no idea why. And I need to call about that. But the old one messed up. Anyway, that was a little bit of a tangent there. But I'm excited because we have Mary Kay seminar coming up this weekend. First one I've ever been to. And I'm just thanking God for all the joy being a Mary Kay representative has brought to my life. They call it consultant now. Back in the day, they called it a representative, I think. I don't know. Maybe it's always been a consultant. I used to call it representative. But I just want to read something from Psalm 53. To the chief musician upon Mahalath, Mashiel, a psalm of David. The fool hath said in his heart, There is no God. Corrupt are they, and have done abominable iniquity. There is none that doeth good. God looked down from heaven upon the children of men to see if they were any that did understand, that did seek God. Every one of them is gone back. They are altogether become filthy. There is none that doeth good, no, not one. Have the workers of iniquity no knowledge, who eat up my people as they eat bread? They have not called upon God. There were they in great fear, where no fear was, for God hath scattered the bones of him that encampeth against thee. Thou hast put them to shame, because God has despised them. On that the salvation of Israel will come out of Zion. When God bringeth back the captivity of his people, Jacob shall rejoice, and Israel shall be glad. Wow, that was a short one. I'll go on to Psalm 54. To the chief musician of Neganoth Mashiel, a psalm of David, when the Ziphims came and said to Saul, Doth not David hide himself from with us? Save me, O God, by thy name, and judge me by thy strength. Hear my prayer, O God. Give your ear to the words of my mouth. For strangers are rising up against me, and oppressors seek after my soul. They have not set God before them. Selah. Behold, God is mine helper. The Lord is with them that uphold my soul. That was a Freudian slip, I believe. Okay. Behold, God is mine helper. The Lord is with them that uphold my soul. Thank you, God, for fixing that. He shall reward evil unto mine enemies, cut them off in thy truth. I will freely sacrifice unto thee. I will praise thy name, O Lord, for it is good. For he hath delivered me out of all trouble, and mine eye hath seen his desire upon mine enemies. And that reminds me of Psalm 91, the soldier's psalm, which is something that the chaplain used to tell us to read when I was at Fort Stewart with my daughters. And it really does hold truth and make you feel a lot more confident to read it. It's He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God. In Him I will trust. Surely He shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and the noisome pestilence. He shall cover thee with His feathers, and under His wings shalt thou trust. His truth shall be thy shield and buckler. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor the arrow that flieth by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. Only with thine eyes shalt thou behold and see the reward of the wicked, because thou hast made the Lord, which is my refuge, even the Most High, thy habitation. There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. For he shall give his angels charge over thee, to keep thee in all thy ways. They shall bear thee up in their hands, lest thou dash thy foot against a stone. Thou shalt tread upon the lion and the adder, the young lion and the dragon shalt thou trample under feet. Because he hath set his love upon me, therefore will I deliver him. I will set him on high, because he hath known my name. He shall call upon me, and I will answer him. I will be with him in trouble. I will deliver him and honor him. With long life I will satisfy him and show him my salvation. Now, that right there is a very meaningful chapter because it meant a lot to me whenever, back when I remember I'll Praise You in the Storm by Casting Crowns was real popular back then too. And that between that chapter, Psalm 91, and the song Praise You in the Storm, it really made a difference in my life when I was ETS and from the Army, active duty. And it just, I don't know, it just kind of gave me hope when I was almost giving up about having happiness and joy, and it was just a hard time. But transition is always hard for a lot of us, but even like not just soldiers, but everyone. So we have to learn to cling to the Lord and read the Bible, pray, find our niches, or however you say that word, find our place in the world that we fit in, and get in where you fit in is what they say, and stay in your lane. That's another good one that I learned in the Army. But another good prayer is the Lord's Prayer. And it goes, My Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever and ever. Amen. And that's something that got me through basic training when I was crawling under chicken wire and on the ground and doing low crawl or high crawl. The high crawl hurt your knees. The low crawl was a little bit easier, but it was so slow. But the high crawl was a little bit painful. But yes, I made it through. And that night of supposed live fire, they called it, was pretty scary. Even though it wasn't real live rounds, of course. But yeah, things like that, and just deploying in general. Even though I was in a neutral area when I deployed, it was in 2007 in Kuwait, so it was already safe. It wasn't like when my Uncle Donald, God rest his soul, went back in Desert Storm and Desert Shield. Yeah, that's when he went, I believe. Anyway, when it first got started and they had to, set up all the camps and the forward operating bases, the FOBs, and all that. So by the time I went, I had it easy. And I mean, still wasn't easy because you're away from home and you're out in the hot desert, like 120 degrees. We were out in the motor pool half the time. We weren't indoors in the AC. And then, lucky for me, halfway through, I got a transfer to Camp Patriot from Camp Air John, and I was able to work in the office at that point because I was a little bit older than some of the other soldiers. And the other person that was working the radio didn't want the job anymore. He was bored. So lucky for me, they stuck me there. And he was happy to get out of there. He was sick and tired of being in there. He was younger and a man, and he just he wanted some action. Even though there really wasn't that much action anyway. We had our weapons in the armory locked up in there because we really didn't need them. But the people that did the night patrols did have their weapons. But the rest of us that were like training the Kuwait Army for hazmat things that we did, because I was a chemical soldier, we didn't have our weapons. So, we were like working at the car wash, so they used to call it when we used to we were simulating, actually, because chemical warfare, there's like a peace treaty against that. But chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear is what there's peace treaty against. But here with COVID-19, it really makes you wonder, is that biological warfare, or was that just accident? There really are no accidents, so it just makes you wonder. I don't know if the verdict's still out on that, or if they are just trying to blame that the bat feces or whatever they were blaming it on. Who knows? It could have been an alien putting something on our Earth. Even though nobody wants to admit there could be aliens, it could have been some type of alien particle that came into our atmosphere from a meteorite or whatever. I don't know. There's no telling what it could be. But all I know is it wiped out a lot of people, and Our population is lower, yes, because we were depleting the Earth's resources, so it could have been some type of alien race trying to stop us from doing that. Who knows? Or it could have just been the governments trying to stop us from doing that and trying to blame it on, something else. But luckily, it didn't start a world war. It helped people become more aware of how we needed to work together as a human race and try to make our Earth better. And our gladiolus actually bloomed for the first time in God knows how long. I didn't even know we still had them. And then it'd been that long since they bloomed. And the environment actually, cleaned up some because there were less people on the roads with the carbon monoxide and everything, less pollution, and, things just started blooming more. It was a miracle, but just things like that, people started coming together more. And it took a while for some of us to overcome our greed or just inhumanity, just not having apathy or not having empathy. I'm sorry, we had apathy. We didn't have empathy for people, but now we do. And that's another reason why I started looking back at the things in my life that could have been better. And like back when I used to be a Mary Kay consultant, things were better in my life. And it was before people with addiction started trying to bring me down and use me and try to get me into their lifestyle, which was not anything I needed at all. And I am definitely not that type of person, and I never was brought up that way. So I really became closer to God through CR and learned how to not to be an enabler to addicts. And it really just changed my life. And then I also found ASMR, which I know everybody's like, what in the world is that? But it's just, I guess it's a way for people to use other cultures' type of healing, which I learned in the metaphysical meetings that I used to go to, because I believe I'm an empath healer. And that's one of the reasons why I wanted to become a nurse or a beautician, but those things never gelled for some reason in my life. Something stopped me each time when I tried to do it. So I believe that when I learned Theta healing from Dave Lowe, God rest his soul, an Air Force man that was in the metaphysical group that I met, I learned a lot from him on how to be a natural healer, which I already was a natural healer, but I just learned how to put a name on it. And then through the ASMR, I've also learned a lot about Reiki, which I haven't actually done anything myself to learn, but I've had a lot of healings from some of the ASMR Reiki videos. And I made a couple of makeup application Reiki videos. It's not really Reiki, but it's my form of Reiki anyway, because I'm not a Reiki master or anything. I haven't learned Reiki yet. But I made a crystal ball theta healing video, and I need to make another one because I haven't done another one since then. But it's just something that a lot of people don't talk about. My mom had a faith healer when she was pregnant with my younger brother because she had these terrible headaches that wouldn't go away. And once the faith healer healed her, those headaches were gone. She grew up in the Holiness Church, so they believe a lot in faith healing and not always turn into, medicine and science and everything, which I know a lot of people are like so addicted to all these pharmacy drugs, all these big pharmaceutical company drugs. And it's like, I only take 4 pills a day, so I am really thankful. And then 2 of those are actually vitamins, so I'm really thankful to be 50 years old and only have to take 4 pills a day. And I feel sorry for people that take more because it ruins their liver, ruins their metabolism. That's another thing I did. I joined Beachbody, which is an awesome team to join for like veterans who are used to having a team to work out with. Excuse me. It made a big difference because when I was reintegrating back after my ETS and from the Army, and just trying to find my place in this world. Like this song. Oh gosh. I think that's a Michael W. Smith song. I love him too. He's awesome. But yes, I was trying to find my place in this world, and I found it after I joined those two teams, which led me to healthy people who were not focusing on unhealthy things in life, basically. And it also helped promote capitalism, which a lot of people are like all paranoid now with all these stimulus checks. Oh God, people are going to turn into communists or socialists. But no, actually, I think the stimulus checks have helped a lot, because it made a lot of people start up their own businesses working from home, because that's like one of the things that Mary Kay Ash did whenever she was tired of training men to do the job, and then they all got promoted, and then she still had the same position. And my sister Angela actually wrote a book about women in the workplace from 1900 to 2021, and it's published by Omni Graphics, which is who she's editorial director for, I believe is the title. But she has her master's degree in English. I just have my bachelor's in interdisciplinary studies in English and music, and I've made a lot of music videos too, and that's using my God-given ability. I don't really have the time to actually be in a group, but I've been in a ton of different choirs and choral groups and a couple of bands. I was in high school band, I was in the Columbia College band and their choir, USC Aiken concert choir. We actually went to Prague for the New World Music Festival in 1992, which was long ago. Got our reunion coming up next year. I don't know what they're going to do or what we're going to do for it. Our director, Antoine Cordahi, may he rest in peace, and one of the other directors, Cole Scarborough, may he rest in peace, and his wife, and both of their wives actually, Ruth and Sylvia, may they all rest in peace. They're looking down on us from heaven. So is my original Mary Kay director, Deanna Kimball Strawhorn. Yaunt, I think, was her, the hyphen. But I miss her a lot. I mean, we were great friends. She was in the high school band with me. We went to church together. She was awesome, and she's basically an angel. May she rest in peace. All those people were angels in my life that, made a huge difference. Keith Moore was another one. God rest his soul. He was my high school band director. Thankfully, my middle school band director, Catherine Brooks, is still alive. She could play some mean marimba. I love marimba. I want to get in marimba. My daughter Ashlyn wants to play the marimba. That's a goal of mine. I finally got a flute, and Ashlyn's actually taking trumpet lessons now in the band. She loves to dance. She wants to get into ballet, so she's been doing a lot of practicing from YouTube videos and things, and we're going to try to get a scholarship for her to do that. Like a friend of mine's son who does ballet got the scholarship. Thank you, God, for that opportunity. And hopefully it'll pan out. My daughter Ashlyn did do adaptive gymnastics, and my older daughters did ballet and tap and modern jazz dance, I believe is what they call the other. But anyway, I've learned a lot of new dances from Shaun T on Beachbody. I don't know how good I am at them, but my daughter and I do those together. And we really enjoy the Tai Chi in that class, and it's just the yoga, I mean everything. They've got so much that you can get Beachbody on Demand. It's amazing. Those two, like I said, Mary Kay and Beachbody on Demand, those two groups have really saved me a lot. I mean, I've become so much healthier. It's just amazing. I just can't praise those two groups enough. And I'm looking into that 31, I think, because that's let's see, Proverbs 31, I think, is what that's deemed after. Let me see if I can find that verse in here. A friend of mine sells that, and I think all three of those are like Christian based. And yes, I'm a Christian. I'm proud to say. I know a lot of people are like, oh, don't do that. Just don't claim a religion. But I was raised Christian, so what can I say? But Proverbs 31 is chapter 31 is the words of King Lemuel, the prophecy that his mother taught him, what my son, and what the son of my womb, and what the son of my vows. Give not the strength unto women, nor thy ways to that which destroyeth kings. It is not for kings, O Lemuel, it is not for kings to drink wine, nor for princes strong drink, lest thy drink and forget the law, and pervert the judgment of any of the afflicted. Give strong drink unto him that is ready to perish, and wine unto those that be of heavy hearts. Let them drink and forget his poverty, and remember his misery no more. Open thy mouth for the dumb, and the cause of all such as are appointed to destruction. Open thy mouth, judge righteously, and plead the cause of the poor and needy. Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies. The heart of her husband doth safely trust in her, so that he shall have no need of spoil. She will do him good and not evil all the days of her life. She seeketh wool and flax, and worketh willingly with her hands. She is like the merchant's ships that bringeth her food from afar. She riseth also while it is yet night, and giveth meat to her household, and a portion to her maids. She considereth a field, and buyeth it with the fruit of her hands. She planteth a vineyard. She girdeth her loins with strength, and strengtheneth her arms. She perceiveth that her merchandise is good. Her candle goeth not out by night. She layeth her hands to the spindle, and her hands hold the distaff. She stretcheth out her hand to the poor, yea, she reacheth forth for her hand to the needy. She is not afraid of the snow for her household, for all her household are clothed with scarlet. She maketh herself coverings of tapestry. Her clothing is silk and purple. Her husband is known in the gates, when he sitteth among the elders of the land. She maketh fine linen and selleth it, delivereth girdles unto the merchant. Strength and honor are her clothing, and she shall rejoice in time to come. She opened her mouth with wisdom, and in her tongue is the law of kindness. She looketh well to the ways of her household, and eateth not the bread of idleness. Her children rise up and call her blessed, her husband also, and he praiseth her. Many daughters have done virtuously, but thou excelleth them all. Favor is deceitful, and beauty is vain, but a woman that feareth the Lord, she shall be praised. Give her of the fruit of her hands, and let her own works praise her in the gates. That's another good one for capitalism, too, because it helps you to realize that, yes, you can earn your own way, and you don't have to rely on a man, but you should be virtuous, so the man that you're with who treats you right is like an elder in the land, basically respects the elders, and he's respected among the people because he doesn't give away to loose living or excess drinking or drugs or anything, cigarettes, or prescription drugs, opiates, and all that. But anyway, that's my interpretation of it. Just, don't let your hands be idle. Find something to do. I started crocheting when I was, when we were doing shelter in place, and I started giving gifts. I would put it in the dry cleaner, so for baby blankets, so it'll be clean and have no germs on it, just in case. And then delivered it to people. I sent gift packages from Mary Kay, samples and things like that to a ton of people. So I got a lot of people's snail mail addresses that I didn't have before, so just in case there's ever an EMP, God forbid, we can actually reach each other through the old school snail mail. But hopefully, we also have a landline, so, in case anything like that ever happens, but God forbid. Some of the young people have no clue what I'm talking about, but I don't know, a Faraday cage may be in order. I just heard rumors that could happen, but here's hoping it, it never comes to that we never use things like that against each other, and we can continue to stay as a human race that actually helps each other instead of tearing each other down, and helping our resources stretch out, and having gardens. And I have like a few things growing here. Have some collards and some spearmint, some tomato plants. I don't really have anything else. I seriously need to plant a bigger garden, because I know people that have some awesome vegetables coming in right now. Some summer vegetables that they taste so much better. We pretty much buy ours at the local grocery store that has local produce, or go to the farmer's market, or go to a roadside stand or something. But sometimes my aunt brings us some that she goes to, that Wilson Farm, I believe, is where she gets hers at. But anyway, I'm rambling right now. That happens sometimes at my age. But anyway, I think it's time for another cup of coffee, or another drink of coffee, not another cup. But yes. Oh. And I do need to do my nails. I know you just saw that. But virtuous women don't always have their nails done, but sometimes we do. Anyway, it's just one of those things. I just pray to God that everyone has a safe, oh my goodness, I almost forgot. I also started doing artwork. That's another thing. I started taking my niacin, which is one of the B vitamins, and it helped my artistic ability flourish. And then I started using pointillism, which is something that my sister Angela, who's an excellent artist, used back in the day. I don't even think she uses it anymore, but it's something she taught me a long time ago. I started using that, and I have tons of mandalas that I made because I was connected with my yoga chakras and all that, doing yoga and connecting with the Indians. I'm part Native American. I know that's a different type of Indian, but I think that was part of the reason why I could connect with them. And then I realized it's like a worldwide phenomenon in the artistic world now, is doing mandalas, because it's like a way to connect to the spirit world in other forms besides just through reading the Bible or reading other religious materials in other religions. And it's just pretty much like a universal language, kind of like music is a universal language. So I just I had to explain that little bit that I had accidentally left out. And my daughter's artistic ability has really improved too. I'm so proud of her. She drew a lot of her action figures or dolls, her little hair adorable dolls that she collects, and she likes to color reveal Barbies too. She drew a lot of them, and she did excellent. I mean, she's really come a long way with her artistic ability, and who knows, maybe one day she'll be doing portraits of people, because some people can draw people better and some people can draw other things better, you know. Mine is kind of abstract, you know. I was watching the Sassy Masha ASMR, which is the first one I ever watched, first ASMR artist I ever watched, and she's Russian, and she has explained a lot about her coming to America, and everything in her videos, I mean, they're just awesome. I love her life story. It's pretty cool. And she's an awesome person, great healer. But she had a surrealism art video that she made where he squishes two sides of the paper together with the paint, and it makes like a symmetrical painting, surrealist painting, and it was really cool. I mean, my daughter and I did a couple of them, and they turned out pretty cool. But then I switched to mandalas after that because it's just, I don't know. I have no clue why, but for some reason, pointillism just helps me get out my, I don't know, my creative outlet flow, or whatever you want to call it. Maybe one day I'll graduate from that and start painting, because I did see a couple of demos on how to paint the ocean with the moon shining on it, or the sun shining on it, and it looked a little bit easier than I thought it would be. So who knows, I might start doing ocean art one day and painting like that, but I might need to take a formal class first. Who knows? But the YouTube videos are awesome because they're free, you know. It's like you can't hardly beat that. But I do need to make another healing video, though. I'm glad I did this because I've made a few makeup videos, which is like when I did my ASMR makeup videos, I was doing them like I was applying them on someone else, because it makes the person feel like they're getting a makeover if they can't afford to get one or can't get there in person to get one. And that's all part of it too, because it may not be Reiki or Theta healing, you know, or crystal bowl healing or anything like that, but it's healing because it's you're you feel like you're getting some personal attention when a lot of people don't go out, or they're too isolationist, or just too hermitish, or I don't even know if that's a word, but they're too introverted, to go out and venture out. But joining up some type of team, like those companies I was talking about, helps with that too. It helps you get out of your being so introverted, and then you can help in other ways once you get connected with those teams that are healthy people, not people focusing on drinking or drugging or anything unhealthy like that, or overindulging in food, or baking so much with all the sugary items that are bad for you. I started using stevia instead, which is, I like to bake when it's not hot, when I can use the oven and not heat up the kitchen. But I started using the stevia and other healthy sugar replacements. Then I am rambling, I swear. Okay, God, I will stop my rambling, and I will continue the prayer that I have started, and say, please bless all these people that are lost in the world. There are so many people lost and looking for something and just trying to connect with some type of group. But in capitalism, it's a good way to connect with some of these groups that are like selling things from home, because in a capitalist society, that's what we thrive on. And that's what Mary Kay Ash, Miracles Happen, put in her book. God rest her soul. She wrote her autobiography, Miracles Happen, and it's about things that you can do as a working mom, and they don't have child labor anymore, as it said in my sister's book. Back in the day, women could, and I already listed what her book was, Women in the Workplace, 1900 through 2021, by Angela Williams. And anyway, yes, and I just saw 2 red cardinals fly over here. One was red and one was brownish, so it's male and female. So that's my dad's spirit, God rest his soul, and my grandmother's spirit, God rest her soul, come flying in, to check on me. Whenever I see a dragonfly, I feel the same way. But yes, so having your own business, there's nothing wrong with it. And if anyone wants to have their spa day, or talk to me about joining up, call me at 803-226-4490. That's my business phone and landline. So it's just it's great opportunity. So I'll connect you, I'll plug you in, and you can get started on being healthier and focusing on healthy things in life, rather than distractions that can pull you away from your God-given abilities that are in us all, so we can actually do healthier things in life and be healthier and become the people that God wants us to be, not be caught up in the world by worldly distractions so much. And we can also help our capitalist society thrive, and help with promoting that type of government, rather than letting any other governments that aren't as good as ours try to take over, so they're not going to be able to anyway. But y'all have a great day, and peace, prosperity be upon your houses, blessings. Try to do something healthy for yourself. Drink water that's purified. Exercise. Eat healthy food. Eat the rainbow of vegetables. Grow some vegetables and spices, herbs, things like that. And don't overindulge in drugs or alcohol. Everything in moderation. And just keep everything clean, basically. Y'all have a peaceful day, and do something good for the environment. Plant a tree. Peace and prosperity. God bless.